it in the chat box. We will get back to you towards the end. And we are growing. And this is my favorite line. Trust me, I always say, while we are talking, there is someone from the team who is really working hard to get more recognition. So they may be in different zones, they may be in US, Australia, Canada, but the team is working very hard. So it's, you can say, when a product grows, it's just not one person, it's the entire team. It's the efforts of a lot of people working in different departments. So our job is to make sure, at least my job is to make sure that you know the product, you know the resources available, you know uh, the assessment, how the assessment works. And then there are people who are working on recognition. And uh, this is again a very important slide and important information, because we want to tell you we are not new. And I mean, I would like to flaunt. This is like flaunting. It's just not one product. So it's just not one product in the assessments. We run suite of assessments. We have these examinations. We have Language Cert Academic, we have Language Cert General, we have Language Cert ESOL, and ESOL has different levels. Then we have ESOL for schools, then we have it for young learners. And the very fact that we have it for young learners at school is an indication that we understand the science of assessment. We know people are different at different stages, the requirements are different there, they need to be tested differently. And interestingly, we have language at LTE, which is a test which reflects the candidate's readiness for work. This is a smart alternative of Beck. Anyone who has ever taught Beck or has heard of Beck in the chat box? And then all our exams are, see, it is very important for trainers to understand how these scores are aligned to different stakeholders. So our scores are mapped to CFR levels, like any other English proficiency test. So any candidate who wishes to go abroad for higher education is expected to get a B2. So we have in our test language at academic mapped to CEFR B2. Now, in this workshop, as I have mentioned before, we will be talking about structure, understanding scoring criteria, how the assessment works, what is the framework, and most importantly, we'll be talking about official resources. That's my favorite activity, taking everyone through the website. It's kind of a walkthrough. So you will enjoy that. A repetition, probably. It's a student-friendly test, and it is for all those candidates who want to go for undergrad, postgrad, or any professional level. And we have test center version as well as home version also. People can take tests from the comfort of their home. We have an online version as well. However, we don't recommend people to take online version. Reason being is it's not accepted by all universities in all countries. Now, main features of the test. Flexible booking. Anyone can book the test up to 48 hours before the test. For example, if somebody wants to take it immediately and has got a realization I'm running late, so the test can be booked up to 48 hours. And in some cases and exceptions, they can even book prior 24 hours prior. If a candidate wants to cancel, it's hassle-free cancellation for 14 days prior. No money is charged. It's 100% refund. There is free rescheduling if it is up to 72 hours, and we don't charge for multiple test report forms. We don't want to dent a candidate's pocket, and we allow them to send this course to multiple universities. Our listening experience is enhanced as the candidate gets to listen to the conversation twice, and we will talk more about it at length when we do listening. The speaking is personalized speaking experience. The candidate gets to talk to an interlocutor. There's a conversation and interaction between the human beings. Remember, we are a computer-based test, but we are not driven by AI. It's a computer-based test, a computer-delivered test, but the candidate talks to human beings. The candidate doesn't talk to only machine. So our scorecard is quite comprehensive. The candidates get a detailed feedback on both writing and speaking. That really helps them to understand why they got a certain level. And this, Ganesh, I'll request you to take a screenshot of this, share in the chat box. It will be really, really useful for them.
I'm doing it right now.
Hmm. Is it done?
Somehow I'm not able to paste in the chat box. I took the screenshot. I'm just saving it in my system. Then I send it as a file. Just 1 second.
Okay. So language and academic is a multi-level test. It checks students' capability from B1 to C1. Or I would like to put it like this. This test is designed and cut for the candidates who want to show their proficiency from B1 level to C2 level. Now, the test content is academic in nature, and we have general training that's for candidates who want to go for immigration. The score reporting is quite meaningful and user friendly. Last not the least, the test report is secure, reliable, and the validity of scores is for 2 years. Like any other test, the validity of the test is for 2 years. Ganesh mentioned numbers. He mentioned that I have taught these many students, then I have taught these many trainers, I've trained. But in simple terms, I would like to say is in my entire professional career, I haven't done anything else except test prep and English proficiency test in this overseas education domain. So I don't know anything else except this. And from that experience, I'm telling you, the test is unique because the question items are around real life scenarios. Anyone who would like to answer this question, and you have to unmute and answer. What do you think are the real life scenarios when a candidate goes abroad in a new country?
Adapting, understanding the situation,
Okay, what
understanding the
else?
language,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
proficiency, you know, overall communication.
Day-to-day
Communication is the major
conversation,
part.
taking care of day-to-day lives, interaction with fellow students, teachers, and people around.
Mm-hmm. Can we add some more points to it? I mean, it's lovely to know. So let's say we're talking about, let's take it as a situation. You have a kid who is planning to go abroad and is planning to go to Germany. So let's see from planning to go to Germany and landing there in Germany and then doing the program in Germany. What do you think are the real life scenarios?
Booking a cab, talking to a cab driver for the location, finding out the location, talking to the university counselor,
What else?
talking to the university, someone in the university for accommodation, talking to a flatmate, having a conversation with a flatmate.
Wonderful. And then in the classes, when I talk about the classes, the candidate is supposed to discuss it with the peers. Candidate is expected to give presentations. The candidate is expected to write a report. And then there's a likelihood some candidates are in some programs are expected to write thesis, and then some people are expected to research or maybe write an essay. So these are real life scenarios. So our test items are around real life scenarios. Any candidate who appears for language and academic test will not be, I would say, will not be intimidated as such because he or she will be able to relate to the task. So you know what happens if the candidate is not able to relate to the task, then the task becomes very challenging. Then it appears to be daunting. Unfortunately, Aman, we don't do recordings. You can check with us. We have just given the background. There are no recordings. And we will be showing the mark sheet, Amit. And then, yes, Nitin, there's a question. Can a candidate apply for the revaluation? Yes, revaluation is possible. That's not a challenge. And we have accommodation in place. Accommodation is there for candidates. Candidates for who have any kind of who are differently abled. So this is all available. Like in any other English proficiency test, there is scoring rubric, there are resources. So you name it and we have it. We may not have 100 test papers, but we have everything which is needed to train candidates. Okay. Before I go to the next slide and talk more about it, can I really request? See, this is a simple request, and I'm not a person who believes in giving threat and exercise power and authority. See, otherwise, I have my boss has given me the right to say if people don't open camera, don't give them certificate. This is a strict instruction from him, and I am generous. He simply tells me every time that you have all authority. So if you can't see people, don't give them certificate. So I will again request everyone. Okay, Ganesh, let's do it like this. Let's have a photograph in the very beginning. We should know with whom we are talking to.
Yes.
At least I should know. All business development people will get an opportunity to see you. I will not be able to see you. So can I have the faces to the names, please? Bharat, Annie, Rohit Gera. My name is Rashmi Gera, at least for the namesake. Dimple Kaur, Anamika, Bharti, Amandeep, Sham Kumar, Harsha. I know Harsha was Ikrar. Nice to see you. Aman, Priya, Bharti, Anubhav. Okay, no problem, Ravindra. Whenever if there is a genuine problem, it's okay. Pavandeep Singh, Debutty, Sachin, Ramya. I don't want to be a typical classroom teacher. I don't like that role. I really don't like. Okay, Bharti. Okay. So I have a question from you. That's why I wanted you to see you. I told you in the very beginning that trainers have influence. I have a question from you. Who has influence on test takers' decisions? What is your mind? Hello, Nitin ji. Nice to see you. देखा कैमरा ऑन करो तो कितना अच्छा रहता है. It's good. My question, I repeat my question. Who has influence on test takers' decisions?
Trainers or the counselors?
Okay.
Trainers.
Okay, then I will change it. Who has more influence? So, Ganesh,
Trainers.
this is a litmus test.
Yeah.
Results.
Yes, their decision and the trainer can direct them or guide them. Yes. Okay. So I think almost everyone feels that no problem, Nikhil. Everyone feels trainers have an influence. Okay, that's lovely to know. Now I have another question. What kind of English classes are popular among today's teenagers? What kind of English classes are popular?
Interactive.
Okay.
Interactive sessions are more popular
Yes.
among the youngsters
Anum,
because
yes. What else?
You're asking about the methodology or the test?
I am types. I'm classes. I'm talking not talking about the test. What kind of English classes are popular? Like online, offline, interactive, theoretical or practical, something like that. So then it comes. Hmm.
Yeah, both online and offline, both are popular. And especially like when it is teenagers, the online also is popular. Whereas for the younger ones, offline works better. And basically, the interactive session, like more where they are given a chance to speak, where we have group discussion and tell them to give a presentation, where the student, like where we facilitate and where we give them more chances to chance to come out. That is very popular.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then we have this. Can you see this on the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. This is something I am interested in. We have few more seconds. Please go ahead. This doesn't take long. I just want to know you a little bit more. So that's the response. I mean, most of the people have mentioned, or I would simply say, equal number of people have mentioned that learner success and continuous growth is the motivation. If I have to vote this, then I will say continuous growth. I also feel like that as a trainer, you grow. If there's an opportunity to learn, there's opportunity to unlearn, then relearn, and of course, followed by love for language. Good. So with that, I give you one more opportunity to ask us anything you want to know so far. So far, if you have a question, before I move to listening module. You can simply say no if you don't have any question, and then I'll move to listening. So language and academic, it's a computer delivered test. It is for 2 hours 34 minutes. Ganesh, now when I'm explaining, you can keep a track of the chat and let me know later.
Yes.
So it's a computer-based test. It is for 2 hours 34 minutes. There are a few things I would like to mention, which no one asked me, but I think it is my responsibility to mention. Result comes in 5 business days. Now, in our test, the candidate has flexibility, a lot of flexibility. And the first flexibility is the candidate can choose his own speaking slot. We have divided test in 2 components, written component and spoken component. Spoken component is speaking. Now, speaking can be taken on the same day or it can be taken on a separate day. Now, the separate day could be the same day or it could be within the within 14 days of the LRW. Or let me put it like this, the test needs to be completed within 14 days. Now, speaking after the completion of the entire test, the result comes in 5 business days. Now, the registration process is really easy. The candidate gets a profile. I think in Pearson Test of English, it is they go and create a profile and then they book for the test. Similarly, the candidate goes to Language Cert Academic website and then creates his own profile, her profile, books for the test. When the moment he creates the profile, he actually builds the connection with the Language Cert team. So the results are accessible on the profile, and then the result is sent, the TRF is sent to the candidate. He gets a courier also. So from his profile, the candidate can send these scores to multiple universities. So has a hard copy, can see the scores on the website also. And Ganesh, I'm surprised no one asked me the price. I don't know what exactly is the price right now in Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, because every country has its own price. We can let you know. In India, it is 15,500
Wow.
rupees.
People
And
already know.
very, very, I will say reasonable. I'm a typical Indian.
Mm.
If I have to send my candidates to my son abroad, I will say just go and check the exam which is reasonable. Don't go for a very expensive exam. And then Ganesh, do you mind sharing? Oh my God, Sri Lanka is 52,000. I think still lesser than any other test. It is Harsha. I think it is lesser than other English proficiency tests because as a policy, I think we okay. So Ganesh, do you mind just
Yeah.
sharing a little bit about test center so that everyone knows that test is accessible? Hmm.
Sure. So obviously, if you have to take a test, if a candidate has to take a test, there are only two methods that the candidate can take a test, right? Either they take it from the comfort of their home, as Rashmi ma'am mentioned. So we have a home-based test. Other than that, mostly accepted test is a test center based test, right? So in India, if you're talking about India, currently we have close to 50 test centers which are live. Okay, I'm not sure about the exact number because we are growing every week. Every week we are adding at least one week or 10 days we are adding one test center in India. The whole logic is, if you're sitting here today, you want to take the language cert test, you might travel 50 or 100 kilometers to take the IELTS test. But if you want to take the language cert test, which is a new test, you don't know a lot about language cert, why would you travel 100 200 kilometers to take the test? Fourteen right now. And Delhi NCR, we have three live test centers right now, or four rather. One in Delhi, two in Delhi, I'm sorry, one in North Delhi, one in West Delhi. We have one live in Noida and one live in Gurgaon. Then UP, we have a few live test centers, one in Lucknow, one in Bareilly very soon. In Punjab, we have two in Chandigarh, we have two in Amritsar, one in Ludhiana. So what I'm trying to tell you is, the whole logic is, if you're a candidate, you're sitting here today, you should have a test center in a 30-kilometer radius so that it is easier for
Accessibility
you to
is
take.
high. How
Yes.
simple funda is it? Accessibility is high. Yes, Arul, there are many test centers in. I was expecting this question. I know there are test centers in Kochi, my favorite place, then Hyderabad, Chennai, Vizag. Our Vizag center is live. We are having our first offline TTT in Vizag in the month of February. Then in Gujarat, we have multiple test centers, and we have it in Ahmedabad, we have it in Vadodara, Then we have one in Surat. So we're growing. And then we're expecting a test center very soon in Indore as well. Uh, Ratna, I will write this name. I will check with Anil Peroka whether. Oh, okay, okay. She's telling the address, I think, in Chennai. Ratna is telling us the center. And then I saw a question which said that was Anam Arif has a very interesting question. Difference between home based, center based. See, there is no difference between as such in the home based and the center based. It is same. The test content is same. Listening, reading, writing, speaking remains same. Speak everything is same. But the fact is that the home a lot of universities and institutions do not accept the online version. They want the test center only. Wow.
Also, if you want to, since I can see a lot of people have questions about their particular city or a city nearby, if you want to know about each and every test center that is live each and every city, you can just go to our website. There you will be able to see which all test centers are live. You, if you want to book a test, you go there, try to book a test, you get all the test centers that are live, you get to select those. So whichever are live, you'll be able to see those there.
So on the website, you can see the list. On the website, again, the test center list is also there. Okay, and thank you so much. I think we have clarified a lot of initial queries, Ganesh. Do you think something is left before I move to listening? Because I don't want them to get confused when we are doing listening.
No, these are about particular cities. So if everyone can go on the website after we are done or while we are at break, it will give you a very clear picture where all we have our test centers. Number wise, we are close to 50. So I think we can move on.
I guess there is a test center in Trichy, so we will get back to you, or you can go to the website and see. Next time onwards, I think, Ganesh, what we will do is we will have a list of cities.
Sure.
Okay, or maybe before we part today in the evening, we can just share the list with them. I think that's a great idea. So everyone who wants to know the exact city locations, towards the end, we will share a consolidated list wherein you can have a look at the test centers. Overseas, no, you cannot take one single retake exam. We don't accept that, and we don't have this provision. The candidate has to take the entire examination, and from the industry experience, I'm telling you, one single retake is not approved by all universities. I know this is a feature, but then it's not accepted. For how many years the score is valid? It is valid for 2 years. Now, before I start listening, I want all of you to talk to each other. I'm going to create breakout rooms, and this activity is for 5 minutes. In that activity, I want you to discuss this. I'll just share my screen so that you know what is to be discussed. Talk to each other, exchange ideas, and then, Kanish, can you see the screen?
It's black
Okay.
right now. Yes, now I can.
Can you please see this? What strategies do you encourage learners to use during listening task? And how do you assess their effectiveness? This is the question on screen. You can take a while and read this. I am creating breakout rooms. Pallavi, I couldn't get your question, this test is for people who want to go abroad for higher education, and this workshop is for people who train people on the examination. So the workshop is for the trainers who teach candidates who want to go abroad, and test is for now. If the question is clear, I'm creating breakout rooms. No, you don't have to type. I'm creating breakout rooms. Please discuss with each other, talk to each other. I'm creating 7 rooms, and you will be automatically assigned a room. Please join the room and discuss this question. You can definitely talk more about the challenges in listening and this particular question. Wish you great luck.
And how they are effective. How this is first of all practice, because practice makes the man perfect. And secondly, I recommend them to watch movies, because in IELTS, if you talk about IELTS or these tests, in their listening modules, they get the audios in different accents, like British accent, American accent, and other movies and listen songs. And if they are watching movies, they should watch them with subtitles on so that they can read the words as well, and they should know, they would know that what word, how they are pronouncing different words. This is my strategy for my student. And other than that, because I think that if we just give them the academics things, so they would get bored. So the activities, their daily life activities, I try to tell them that they can practice.
Audible. You are not audible clearly. Please check your network.
Audible to you? Okay. Now is it okay?
Quite good.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so the strategy what I follow to my students is like, so usually when the comprehensions are being given for the students, or the mark that okay, this is the age, this is the thing. But usually what happens, the recording is going to have another year and the question is going to have another year. So in this, I make them listen to the clip once or twice so that they're going to make it done within the time period. So this is very important, I guess.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, from my
Um,
side, I want to add that practice is the most important thing. But comparative to PT, I noticed that students can prepare for 10 days and maximum 10 to 15 days, then they can works well. But in language cert, listening and reading, if you talk about listening specifically, we have to understand thoroughly, or students must have a basic understanding of English from its school time and graduation time. You can't prepare only in 10-15 days. And for that, you have to practice a lot of, from movies and podcast.
but
This is
also
my observation.
in the language right now, we get a chance to listen to the recording for like 2 times now. So I think
But
that's easier.
in third and fourth part, they are very lengthy questions
Oh.
and not that much easy. But in PT, as we have seen, there are only 10 to 15 days strategy. There are certain uh,
Yeah,
short
PT is
tricks we can crack.
quite easier.
Yes, in case of listening. But
Mhm.
here they are selling their product based on this USP that we are giving 2 times recording. But
Mhm.
it is mandatorily required for 2 times. Without 2 times or 3 times, it's not that much sufficient.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, the strategy is the practice only to listen podcast and different accent, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Accent is most important because questions are in different categories and different context or reason. Different accent is more important to understand different.
Exactly, because it's hard for people to understand different accents
Yes,
because
yes.
they do not have the habit to listen to people in their daily life now or in
When
their daily.
students are facing, they are quite good when they listen Indian accent. They are quite good, but when they listen
Hmm.
European or Australian accent, then they face difficulty.
And especially the British one, that's the hardest one.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Hey everyone, due to some network issue, I wasn't able to listen. I think Anum Arif. So I was unable to listen whatever you have said. So it's my first time with language cert. I haven't gone through the criteria. Even I don't know what is the listening criteria. But that's the only thing I know, that listening play twice, and it's quite easy when we heard anything twice. So I think this will be the easiest part for people, for students, because they have to listen twice, whatever the instructions are, whatever the recording is. If they like heard it twice, it will be easy. But comparatively, nowadays, if we look at the scenarios, it's quite difficult for students to convince from PT to language cert. But yeah, we will try to do that. In my case, like I have multiple students for PT, rather than like as we know, like IELTS is also going to, like we can say, not disappear, but it's fading away. Like people are not preferring IELTS as compared to PT. So now we have to convince them, because language are first benefit is the fees. Like fees is comparatively less, like as according to the other set of languages. Moreover, the twice listening twice, it's comparatively like featuring point rather than the other set of language programs, I must say. So yeah, if I will be like going through the portal, how the listening is worked, then I'll be having a great picture. But I haven't gone through the portal. I haven't gone through the like listening module, even any of module. So yes, it will be closing in some seconds.
But this was about the strategies that you use for the listening modules for
Yeah.
your students.
We have different strategies in PT and in IELTS also, because instructions are must in IELTS, right? We have to like look for either it is 1 word, 2 word numbers. So they are quite familiar. Students are also quite familiar with the strategies and the fixed like set of pattern. Now we have to look at what are the different strategies in language learning. So it is new to me because I haven't gone through the curriculum yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are the life skills.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you, everyone.
Same here.
How was it?
Very interesting.
Good.
Very interesting. The first time I came across, or I got a chance to interact with so much interactive people. Because
Wow.
last time when I was there, there were 2 to 3 people who are just totally or completely silent. They were not even trying to put a little effort in speaking or in discussing the things.
So you are attending this is for the second time?
Yes,
Ayushi?
ma'am. I'm attending this in the second time. I guess I did it in last year.
Awesome. Awesome. Group
It's
6.
great. It's great meeting Miss Anam as well. Your strategies towards listening skills were really great, Miss Anam. I was happy to know about the criteria of language cert as well. So even I'm new
Thank
to it.
you.
So yeah, thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Can I ask someone from group 6 to come up and then brief what were the points of discussion? Group 6. Who was in room 6? Room 6.
Hi, it's Ikra over here. So
Yeah.
I was in the group 6. I was in the group 6. We have discussed about the skills which are required for the listening for the from the learner point of view,
Mhm.
and what they struggle basically usually in listening. So we have come up with the great ideas together, and that was interactive session 2. So we just have discussed that, and this listening part basically in language search that would be very easy as compared to IELTS or other tests of English language. Why? Because they can listen the audio twice, and apart from that, there would be only one type of question, that is an MCQs based question. What can be the usual traps in that question? How we can help the students to listen more focusedly in this part for improving their listening. So one of them, they gave the suggestions that, of course, the keywords before listening to the audio, the keywords really matters, and they really help students to identify and to know what is the kind of their task is, whether their answer is going to about what. So they need to understand the question statement first and underline the keywords, and then they need to listen and predict the answer as well. And they need to know that there can be some traps, there can be change in the tone, there can be change in the answer. So they need to keep on listening till the end for the right option. And they can go for the, in the MCQs, of course, elimination method works a lot. So they can go for the eliminating the incorrect options or the opposite options said by the speakers or in the audio.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Someone from group 1. Can you please brief what you discussed?
So, sir, whoever was in room 1, I was also in room 1. We did have a discussion, a quite extensive one. Yeah.
Yeah, we focus mainly on different strategies that we can use, like pre-listening strategies while you're listening to the test that you're giving, and post-listening strategies, mainly focusing on grammatical errors and how you can reflect on your errors and how can you rectify it uh, uh, in the future test that you'll be giving, and also keeping a score tracking of your practice test, analyzing your errors, for example mishearing, vocabulary gaps, speed and accent issues. That was the main point that we discussed. There are a lot of accent that we come across and we are not able to grab hold of them properly, like what is being spoken about, or the topic. And several behavioral indicators, like how we can reduce anxiety during tests, faster answer selection, better note taking, and improved ability to paraphrase answers.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. Can you just spare 2 minutes? Just a quick cursory look, there I have shared something in the chat box, and these strategies are very useful. In language and academic listening, the candidate gets to listen to the conversation twice. The whole idea is we don't want to give cognitive load to the candidate. We want candidates to focus on the context, purpose, and the function. The candidate gets to listen to variety of conversations, then again academic in nature, but then even if they're academic in nature, there's a different register. You will get to see when you do questions independently. The test is not content heavy, and we don't expect candidates to have prior knowledge about the topic. In the listening test, we are not aiming to check their ability to have or their subject knowledge, or means everything to mark the correct answer is there in the lecture. So the test moves from shorter conversations to long conversations. The test is standardized. There are 30 questions in listening. Their duration of listening is 40 minutes. This includes the second time. Like IELTS, we don't have any 10 minutes time extra for the transfer. The reason is simple. It's not IELTS. IELTS has a test designed which expects them to give 10 minutes transfer time. For every question type, there is enough time to read the questions in advance. Most of the questions are multiple choice questions. The candidates have only for 7 questions, candidates have to type. And when they have to type the answer, we are okay with uppercase and lowercase. Spelling errors is a wrong error. But then if spelling is wrong, this is incorrect. But we accept both American and British spelling. That's not a problem. When a student does fill in the gaps, it's more about understanding the context. The word comes from the lecture, and altogether the test is divided into 4 components. So let me share my screen and show you. So this is our listening test quickly. Listening has 4 parts. Duration is approximately 40 minutes. And each section, these are the raw marks and these sections. You may like to take a screenshot of this. Dinesh, please do share a screenshot of this. Listening
Yes.
section 1 has 7 questions. Listening section 2 has 10 questions. Listening section 3 has 7. Listening section 4 has 6 questions. Each question is worth 1 point. And a lot of people ask me how to get high scores in listening. How can I get more scores in listening module? My simple answer is you just focus on the main idea, you focus on the context, you pay attention to the keywords and transition words, and most importantly, you focus on section 2. Section 2 has maximum questions, and if a candidate gets 10 on 10 here, he's taken care or she is taken care. Uh, Once you're done with this, I would expect you to take a screenshot of this also, because this explains the scoring. A lot of in all training get scores. What is the requirement of the score? Language cert is marked out of 100 points, and it's very simple, like school days, 100 marks paper. All of us used to have that 100 marks paper. So language cert academic exam is 100 marks. We don't have any integration. There is no integration in listening. There is no integration in reading, writing, and speaking. Listening score is listening score. Reading score is reading score. Writing score is writing score. Speaking score is speaking score, because inherently there is integration in language. See, when you listen and then when you write, is listening and writing. When you listen to something, when you read something and then you speak, there is already integration. So we don't have another layer of integration. We don't give partial credit. Our scores are straight. Either the candidate will get a 75 or will get a 78. It will not be 75.5 or 78.5. Now, this is the scoring. The candidate, if he needs 6.5 or anything around that, he needs to do around 15 to 20 questions correct out of 30. If the candidate needs 7 or 7 plus, then the candidate needs around 21 to 26 questions correct out of 30. and it is about 8 band or more than 7.5. Then they need 27 out of 30. And then this is the raw score. These raw scores are then converted to scaled scores. And you can simply see B2 B2 communicator is 60 to 74. That means in order to get anything between 60 to 74, candidate has to do anything between 15 to 20 questions correct in listening. Any questions so far?
Yes, ma'am. One question, please. For Australia, superior English, 80 marks is required for listening.
Okay.
How many question student
80
must
marks
have?
are required. Okay,
Yes,
see, it's
for
there.
listening.
Wow. Listening 80 marks. Just wait. 80. See, this is C1. 80 for 21 to 26. Anything between 21 to 26. So I can tell you roughly 23 questions correct. 22 to 23 questions correct.
For an example, if we correct 22 questions,
See, Randeep, I don't have a scale of measure every question like this. So
but
let's
during
say,
practice, how can we access that our score will be 80 or 78 or 82?
how
How
do you
can
do
we?
it in Pearson test of English? I think this is not available in IELTS also. In IELTS also there is a range.
Correct.
You follow the range. In IELTS also, I still remember it, that anything between 27 to 32 is 7 band, right? Or it is 7 point something like this. So that way no one can tell you exact score for the exact question.
Okay.
Even there's a range in IELTS also. I'm sure there is some mechanism in Pearson test of English also. But if still I have to answer this, I will simply say 22 or 23 because you're saying 80. So when
Yes.
75 begins at 21, then you can find a midway.
Correct. Understood.
To be very honest, there is no sheet like this which says you do 22 questions, then you get this much. So there is no algorithm like that. So the criteria is this. This is the range.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
So have a sample question, something like that. Can it be?
I will be showing. First of all, I wanted to. That's my next step.
Okay, thank you.
That's my next step. Okay, so that way, let's go to sections. So this is our part 1. Just give me a minute, I'll get my book.
Well, I can see a question from someone. Can the student apply for Australian PR with this exam? Yes. When we talked about acceptance and the government's approving us across the globe, Australian Department of Home Affairs approve us. They approve us for all types of visas. So for Australian PR as well, our language cert academic test is approved.
Gini sir, one more question. Can you show us a report card? Anybody, so that we can understand how scoring has to be done.
Yes, Rashmi ma'am will come to that when we are. I think when we are done with listening, reading, writing, speaking, there are sample report cards that are there. So she will be showing those to you, the sample report card scoring and the detailed feedback that we give along with the sample report card. She'll be covering
Yes,
that.
Ganesh, thank you for supporting me there. Yes, we have sample scorecards. I will be showing that towards the end. See, I'm just following in order so that there is a flow in the session.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so these are the questions. Part 1 is unique. Part 1 has 7 conversations. The USP of part 1 is that there are very short conversations, kind of 3 exchanges. The candidate is expected to listen and choose from the given options. Then the candidate gets 10 seconds to read every question. the options, and then what we check. That's the question, what we check. We check students' ability to identify register, purpose, and function, and the speaker relationship. The most important part of our speaking is that the candidate understands the context. Now I'm going to play these conversations. Please write the answers in your notebook or in the chat.
Listening Part 1. You will hear some short conversations. You will hear each conversation twice. Choose the correct answer to complete each conversation.
Inish, is it audible or not?
No.
Conversation 1.
Now it is.
Have you had the text about the geography field trip to Alaska?
Did they announce that already?
Yeah, and there is a discount if you sign up early.
Conversation 1.
Have you had the text about the geography field trip to Alaska?
Did they announce that already?
Yeah, and there is a discount if you sign up early.
Conversation 2.
Well done on the data analysis you did.
Thanks. I took special care to double check it all.
But your heart doesn't seem to be so much in the lab work. Am I right?
Conversation 2.
Well done on the data analysis you did.
Thanks. I took special care to double check it all.
But your heart doesn't seem to be so much in the lab work. Am I right?
Conversation 3.
Can you give me a quick update on your end-of-year paper, please?
Well, I'm sticking with the research topic we talked about.
So, did you do your summary yet?
Conversation 3.
Can you give me a quick update on your end-of-year paper, please?
Well, I'm sticking with the research topic we talked about.
So, did you do your summary yet?
Conversation 4.
I'd say we're on track to hit our history project deadline.
Great, but I'm conscious of the fact that you've done most of it.
The summary and list of references still need to be done.
Conversation 4.
Gaurav sir, can you please?
I have muted everyone, don't worry.
I'd say we're on track to hit our history project deadline.
Great, but I'm conscious of the fact that you've done most of it.
The summary and list of references still need to be done.
Conversation 5.
How well prepared are you for the tutorial with Professor Tompkins tomorrow?
I just need to brush up on a couple of things.
Overall, you'd say you're on top of it?
Madam, please move on this screen. Question 5 is not visible.
Conversation 5.
How well prepared are you for the tutorial with Professor Tompkins tomorrow?
I just need to brush up on a couple of things.
overall, you'd say you're on top of it?
Conversation 6.
Adam in my tutorial group is determined to keep his part-time job.
What? Even with so many essays to finish this semester?
He seems to relish the challenge, but it'll be so detrimental to his studies.
Conversation 6.
Adam in my tutorial group is determined to keep his part-time job.
What? Even with so many essays to finish this semester?
He seems to relish the challenge, but it'll be so detrimental to his studies.
Conversation 7.
The offer on the printer's only valid until midnight.
So we should really seize the opportunity.
I think so. It's not the cheapest, but the quality's better.
Conversation 7.
The offer on the printer's only valid until midnight.
So we should really seize the opportunity.
I think so. It's not the cheapest, but the quality's better.
That is the end of part 1.
See, the test-taking experience will be better when you do it independently, when you do it with a headphone. So on screen like this, it could be challenging, but this is the question type. There are two people talking, there is a context, there are 3 exchanges, and the candidate is expected to pick one option to finish or to complete the conversation. I can see a lot of responses in the chat box, but before I tell you the answers, I just want to know, how did you find this question type? What do you feel about this question type? Okay. I will simply say this is a smart question type. Initially, it may be very tempting. Some people may be intimidated because it's a very short chunk. There's a smaller chunk of the conversation. If I see the ease is in the fact that the candidate listens to the conversation twice. First time he can actually understand what the people are saying. Second time he can confirm the response and mark it. And the USP of this particular section is that if one questions go wrong or one conversation is not clear, it doesn't impact the other questions. So they're together, the section is together, but then not knowing one particular conversation or not being able to understand one set of information doesn't impact the remaining questions. In other test, if the candidate misses on one word or one line, at least 2 to 3 questions are affected. So first answer is B, second is C. I'll just write in the chat box. So Bharti, really? I don't remember doing a cat test pattern now, but so I will check the cat and pet style. But thank you for mentioning that. Wow, Vakas, wonderful. Now we move to the yes.
The chat box is flooded. You're unable to look into the chat box.
You are not able to?
Not able to see the chat box as it is flooded.
Okay, okay. I can copy it again.
Everyone was answering it. You just scroll down to the very bottom. You'll see the answers.
I have pasted it again.
Yes. So the latest message that you can see. Those are the correct answers.
No,
I
sorry,
think
I couldn't see.
again, first is B. I'll repeat it, ma'am. Don't worry. First one is B. Second is C. Third is C. Fourth is A. Fifth is C. Sixth is A. Seventh is A. Does it help you now, Ratna ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Most welcome. So this is part one, and trust me, your test taking experience will be better when you do it on your own. I mean, your headphone, your system, you are doing it on your pace. Let's move to second section. That's my personal favorite. Reason being is this particular section has more questions. The scope of scoring is really high, and you can see the highlight. Every question there is. Every conversation there is a context setting done. So these are again multiple choice questions. The candidate listens to 5 conversations. Each conversation has 2 questions. Candidate gets 30 seconds. And in this particular section, we just want to see whether the candidate the candidate has the capability to understand the cause and effect relationship, intention, can see the relationship between speakers. And most important thing is, you must be wondering why she is using this word again. Context setting is very important. The moment a candidate understands the context, his chances of getting high scores are really high, because the context helps him understand the gist, helps him focus on the main idea, and context allows him to pick the right answer. Not to forget, there is no negative marking. Second most important thing for this particular question type, I always recommend people to focus on content words. We don't expect candidates to pay attention to each word and each line. We expect them to pay attention to content words. Ignore function words because the meaning lies in content words. So we will do only 3 conversations in the interest of time. Or maybe 2. We will do only 4 questions so that you get an idea. The rest we will share all links. You can do it independently.
Listening Part 2. You will hear 5 conversations. Listen to the conversations and answer the questions. Choose the correct answer. You will hear each conversation twice. Conversation 1. You hear a university tutor talking to a student called Jessica.
Jessica, can I have a quick word, please, before you go?
Sure. If you want to know where I'm at with my book report, I'll get it to you by the end of tomorrow, guaranteed. I'll email it to you after the lecture. I know I should have asked for an extension.
Hold on. Actually, Jessica, it's about more than that. This isn't a new thing. I've noticed a pattern developing, and I'm worried that you're not managing your time effectively.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't realize how busy the fall semester would be.
But there's something we can do about it. How about I put you down for a short time management course, something to help you get back on schedule. I think it could really help.
That sounds cool. Thanks.
Conversation 1. You hear a university tutor talking to a student called Jessica.
Jessica, can I have a quick word, please, before you go?
Sure. If you want to know where I'm at with my book report, I'll get it to you by the end of tomorrow, guaranteed. I'll email it to you after the lecture. I know I should have asked for an extension.
Hold on. Actually, Jessica, it's about more than that. This isn't a new thing. I've noticed a pattern developing, and I'm worried that you're not managing your time effectively.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't realize how busy the fall semester would be.
But there's something we can do about it. How about put you down for a short time management course? Something to help you get back on schedule. I think it could really help.
That sounds cool. Thanks.
Conversation 2. You hear a student talking to a university employee about her accommodation fees.
Hi, I got this letter about non-payment of my accommodation fees. Should I speak with you, or this isn't the first time I've been in here about this issue, so maybe I should speak with Mr. Gonzalez? I spoke with him before. I really want to figure out what's going on.
Mr. Gonzalez isn't working today, but I should be able to help. Can you tell me what the issue is?
Well, it seems that your system's generating automatic letters to me saying that I haven't paid, but I have. I've got copies of my bank statements right here. Last night, I called my parents to tell them I'd received yet another letter, and they said I should come into the office today.
Your parents are correct. Okay, so let's think what we can do going forward. The obvious thing is to see exactly what we have on our system about you. Can you give me your last name and initials? And I'll also need your student registration number. Could I take your account details from your bank statement, please? Conversation 2. You hear a student talking to a university employee about her accommodation fees.
Hi, I got this letter about non-payment of my accommodation fees. Should I speak with you, or this isn't the first time I've been in here about this issue, so maybe I should speak with Mr. Gonzalez? I spoke with him before. I really want to figure out what's going on.
Mr. Gonzalez isn't working today, but I should be able to help. Can you tell me what the issue is?
Well, it seems that your system's generating automatic letters to me saying that I haven't paid, but I have. I've got copies of my bank statements right here. Last night, I called my parents to tell them I'd received yet another letter, and they said I should come into the office today.
Your parents are correct. Okay, so let's think what we can do going forward. The obvious thing is to see exactly what we have on our system about you. Can you give me your last name and initials? And I'll also need your student registration number. Could I take your account details from your bank statement, please? Conversation 3. You hear a university tutor
We're not going to do as we discussed. We're not doing to do all because it's time consuming. You can check it on your own. Answer for 8th question is A. So 8th is A, 9th is C, 10th is A, 11th is B. Wow. I'm glad a lot of people are actually trying. Wow. One simple question. Do you think the test takers will be okay with this? They will be able to cope up with this? And it's not going to be challenging?
Yes, they would cope up with this.
So
Right,
nothing should
it's definitely
nothing should stop you from recommending this test to your test takers. As
obviously yes.
it's wonderful, everyone. Congratulations for finishing this. We move to part 3. Part 3 is the universal question type. This is GAFL. This every candidate has done in every listening test. They have a fair idea of it. In our test, there is on screen, this is the format of the question. There is an extended monologue. There's a lecture. The topic is academic. Again, we don't expect them to have subject expertise. Then they are supposed to complete this particular text. The test takers have to pick the word from the lecture. So no paraphrasing required. No synonym cramming and antonym cramming required. There are 7 gaps. The candidate is expected to complete them, and the candidate gets 30 seconds to read everything in advance. In this particular question type, we aim at checking students' ability to summarize and synthesize the information. The spelling has to be correct. Most important thing is it has to be correct. Yes, Aditya, we don't get any notepad. We don't get any notepad. We don't get to take notes. The reason being is it's not required. The test is not designed in such a way where the candidate has to struggle to identify key ideas. It's more about overall context. Secondly, it is repeated for the second time, so there is no need of note taking. Somehow note taking becomes a distraction because then you have to train the candidates for on note taking skills. Students get the notepad only for part 4 of the listening. Now let's do this. We'll not do 4th section, and we'll just do this one, and I will show you what is there in 4th one, and then we do reading.
Listening Part 3. You hear an environmental science student giving a presentation to her tutor group. Complete the information on the notepad. Write short answers of 1 to 3 words. You will hear the person twice.
My presentation today is about a recent study into the number of ancient trees estimated to exist in England. Some of you may be familiar with this University of Nottingham-led study, but for those of you that aren't, you might be wondering why these trees need identifying in the first place. Well, previously, the conservation charity The Woodland Trust and its partners had managed to record the location of some 180,000 ancient trees in England. But they were aware that this wasn't a complete record. The issue for conservationists is, if they don't know where the other ancient trees are, then it's far harder to protect them, especially from huge infrastructure projects like the building of high-speed rail lines. The hope is that any future register of ancient trees will note both where they are and also what condition they're in. It may surprise you, but most ancient trees aren't protected by any policy or legislation in England. The only protection they might have is if they're known about and a tree preservation order has been filed, or if they go within a larger protected wildlife site. So how old does a tree need to be in order to be deemed ancient? Well, it's not as simple as saying anything originating from the 17th century is ancient. A birch tree, which grows quickly, could be classed as ancient at 150, whereas a slow-growing yew tree in the same wood might only get that designation at 800 years. It all comes down to the species. So, an oak, for instance, has to be exceptionally old relative to other oaks in order to be called ancient. But ancient trees do share certain characteristics. There are often other organisms, such as fungi or plants growing on them. Plus, they may have a trunk that isn't completely solid along its length, but has voids and empty spaces, which may house animals. Plus, there's frequently dead wood in the canopy. These trees are valuable natural assets for wildlife. They also play a part in the country's national heritage, and some of these historically linked trees end up being in busy tourist spots, such as the Major Oak in Sherwood Forest in Nottinghamshire. Building on the work done by the Woodland Trust, University of Nottingham researchers turned to mathematical models with the aim of predicting the distribution of ancient trees across England, then checking their predictions to ultimately place them on a map. The team were aware that there was likely to be what's known as sampling bias. This is when the tree locations recorded reflect where people chose to look for them, rather than where the trees might actually be. To combat this bias, several of the models they trialled used predictors such as distance from cities, distance from roads, and population density to help distinguish between places where people are unlikely to have looked for trees and places that really don't have any. To select the model that was most reflective of real tree distribution, the researchers recruited volunteers to carry out surveys to locate the trees predicted by each model. They surveyed randomly selected 1 kilometre square grids as thoroughly as possible to find all the ancient trees in that square, with the findings compared against the modelling predictions to discover the most reliable model. The numbers recorded during these surveys indicate that there could be around 8 to 10 times as many ancient trees in England than are currently known about. That's anything from 1.7 to 2.1 million. It's amazing to think that most of England's ancient trees still haven't been found. So,
now we'll listen to the conversation twice.
my presentation today is about a recent study into the number of ancient trees estimated to exist in England. Some of you may be familiar with this University of Nottingham-led study, but for those of you that aren't, you might be wondering why these trees need identifying in the first place. Well, previously, the conservation charity the Woodland Trust and its partners had managed to record the location of some 180,000 ancient trees in England. But they were aware that this wasn't a complete record. The issue for conservationists is, if they don't know where the other ancient trees are, then it's far harder to protect them, especially from huge infrastructure projects like the building of high-speed rail lines. The hope is that any future register of ancient trees will note both where they are and also what condition they're in. It may surprise you, but most ancient trees aren't protected by any policy or legislation in England. The only protection they might have is if they're known out and a tree preservation order has been filed, or if they grow within a larger protected wildlife site. So how old does a tree need to be in order to be deemed ancient? Well, it's not as simple as saying anything originating from the 17th century is ancient. A birch tree, which grows quickly, could be classed as ancient at 150, whereas a slow-growing yew tree in the same wood might only get that designation at 800 years. It all comes down to the species. So, an oak, for instance, has to be exceptionally old relative to other oaks in order to be called ancient. But ancient trees do share certain characteristics. There are often other organisms, such as fungi or plants growing on them. Plus, they may have a trunk that isn't completely solid along its length, but has voids and empty spaces, which may house animals. Plus, there's frequently dead wood in the canopy. These trees are valuable natural assets for wildlife. They also play a part in the country's national heritage, and some of these historically linked trees end up being in busy tourist spots, such as the Major Oak in Sherwood Forest in Nottinghamshire. Building on the work done by the Woodland Trust, University of Nottingham researchers turned to mathematical models with the aim of predicting the distribution of ancient trees across England, then checking their predictions to ultimately place them on a map. The team were aware that there was likely to be what's known as sampling bias. This is when the tree locations recorded reflect where people chose to look for them, rather than where the trees might actually be. To combat this bias, several of the models they trialled used predictors such as distance from cities, distance from roads, and population density to help distinguish between places where people are unlikely to have looked for trees and places that really don't have any. To select the model that was most reflective of real tree distribution, researchers recruited volunteers to carry out surveys to locate the trees predicted by each model. They surveyed randomly selected 1 kilometre square grids as thoroughly as possible to find all the ancient trees in that square, with the findings compared against the modelling predictions to discover the most reliable model. The numbers recorded during these surveys indicate that there could be around 8 to 10 times as many ancient trees in England than are currently known about. That's anything from 1.7 to 2.1 million. It's amazing to think that most of England's ancient trees still haven't been found.
So we're done.
That is the end of part 3.
So that was part 3, and comparatively this is the easiest because this is something the test takers are already acquainted with. Answer for 18th is condition. I repeat, answer for 18th is condition. 19th is preservation order. 20th is species. 21 is trunk. 22 is tourist spot or tourist attraction. 23 is map, and 24 is volunteers. I repeat, the 18th is condition, 19th is preservation order, 20th is species, 21 is trunk, 22 is tourist spots, attractions, map, 24 is volunteers. Wow. We move to
Listening part 3.
We move to
Listening
part
part 4.
Part 4 is the only section where there are multiple speakers. This is an extract. Again, there is context setting. The extract is taken from a podcast or maybe an interview. There are 6 multiple choice questions. In this section, we check whether the student can follow multiple speakers in an academic discussion or not. They are expected to listen to specific information and identify attitude, opinions, agreement, and difference. Now, it is very important for test takers to prepare for the test. Our test is engaging, our test is smart, our test is designed for today's real world scenarios and today's generation. Yet we emphasize on regular practice. We recommend candidates to practice using the official resources. They should go to the Language Cert website. Post lunch, I will show you what are the resources available and how to do it. They're expected to listen to variety of English speakers, and then they are expected to engage in a lot of non-test content. A lot of times test takers only depend on official test papers. They don't want to engage themselves in English. They don't want to create English environment or immerse in that environment. We highly recommend candidates to go through different resources, watch English movies. We want them to uh, listen to English songs so that they really understand the English phrases, they understand accent and pronunciation. For instance, in my classes, I usually recommend test takers to watch Beautiful Mind, or maybe I recommend them to watch Pursuit of Happiness. Then there is a movie named Gifted or Wonder. So I specify name of movies and the television programs or the programs on Netflix, which can really enhance their understanding of language. Now, when a student does non-test content, the student must keep a record of new vocabulary and then try to understand the usage. During the listening test, they should, as they listen to the conversation twice, they should capitalize on this. First, listening should be used to answer as many as questions they can. Second can be used to complete their answers or to review their works. Then there is a preparation time given to every candidate for every question type. That time should be utilized. And in our test, we don't emphasize on cramming or just picking the main idea. So they should pay attention to transition and organization, but they should focus more on overall purpose of each conversation. So the question always appear in the same order as the conversation. So this will really guide the test takers to get the right answers. They should pay attention to the tone, intonations, pay attention to discourse markers. As there is no negative marking, the test takers should attempt all questions. I've already shown you this. And Ganesh, do you mind sharing the tips for Language Cert Academic? We are sharing a document. It's a 12-page document. It's in the PDF form. You may like to download and save it on your desktop. This particular document has all tips and strategies to teach Language Cert Academic, all modules. And then it's smartly designed for test takers.
I'll share it in the chat. Wait, give me
Okay.
2 minutes. I'll
Okay.
share it. Yeah.
I think we should break for lunch and we can do reading and writing and speaking later on. That's not a problem. Share it in the chat box. Before we break for lunch, any questions?
So yeah, I have a question. So
Sure.
what I saw was it was mentioned listening academics. So the listening test varies for different models of exams. Is it same and only certain aspects vary?
Listening, I think you're asking, is it the listening same for general training for immigration
Yeah.
also?
Yeah.
Yes. First of all, I want to highlight that Australia accepts only Language Cert Academic for all visa purposes. But anyone who is taking Language Cert General, the test design is same, question types are same, but the content is different because the purpose of the test is different.
Okay. And while answering in IELTS, they also check the number of words. Like they say, answer in 2 or 3. So
See, we have only one question type where we ask candidates to write either one word, 1 to 3 words. So it shouldn't cross more than 3 words because it's the instruction.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Sivanandan, you are from which city?
I'm from Trichy.
Oh, but we did a Trichy
Yeah,
offline
we had
TTT.
one. Yeah, I didn't know. I was not aware. I thought I badly missed
No
it.
issues, no issues. We'll do it again. We just did
Yeah.
Trichy last month.
Yeah, yes, I saw it on LinkedIn. One of my common friends had attended it,
Okay.
but
Okay.
somehow I missed it.
No worries. Any other questions so far?
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
What kind of accents can we expect in the listening section?
It's mixed. American, British, and Australian mixed. So it's not dominated by one accent.
Actually, the Aussie accent is very difficult to get, na?
No, so
That's
it's
why I
mixed. No. It is not particularly Aussie, Australian accent. Randeep, what is LNU? Randeep, LNU. What is LNU?
I'm not using my last name, or only document name is Randeep. So last name is unknown.
Acha.
I entered this information just for the certificate. I was thinking.
Okay. So, but you can write a remark. We can tell, do you want something? Otherwise, it would be Randeep LNU. If there is no last name, we will tell them that they only write Randeep.
Yes, ma'am. I will inform them. Or if they will share any Google form.
Okay. I will just tell them. So I think Ganesh, high time we break for lunch. We'll resume at 1:40.
Sure.
40 minutes from now, can you please write in the chat box?
I'm writing it down.
And we are talking about India time. And if for everyone else, please follow 40 minutes, whatever time it is in your region. We are okay. See you after 40 minutes. Enjoy your lunch and come back with a cup of green tea or coffee. You don't have to log out. You can simply mute everything, switch off your camera, and then come back.
No. See you all again.